Hey everyone, welcome to the channel, All Things Middle-earth here with an unnecessarily analytical video. I'm working on a commander deep dive for Legolas and in the future other commanders if people are interested, and I just started going through these battle reports after testing some battles to see how all the different skills work together, and I felt like I was getting a lot of good information, at least for me. So I know some people play really casually. That's awesome if you're just kind of, you're not looking too much into the fine details of how the battling works. So this may not appeal to you, but if you are wanting to understand just a little bit better how these things work and the different abilities, what they do, or equipment, or your different commanders, then this may be a video that's interesting to you. So if you do enjoy this video, be sure to hit that subscribe button to join our fellowship here on YouTube, and we'll have more videos like this, as well as specific commander deep dives for how I think they may best be used. So starting out, you have the attack formation. If you go into, I started a battle here with just 50 cavalry archers on a 15 power land, so I didn't want to do something I was going to overpower. I wanted to let this run its course. So I took this army in here, and right here, attack formation, all that is who's here. So not super important, but you can see a detailed breakdown of how many units they had of each type. So that's that. The next thing are our ring bonuses, and this is the bonuses you get from how you decided to forge your ring when you started the game. It is something you can change. If you click your ring in the bottom left of the screen, and then you can click reforge on that screen, you can pick all these different things. And I'll either put it down below or I'll put them on the screen right now, like in 1 second intervals. So if you want to pause and see the different things, this is also in the Discord. So I might just try and link it that way in the description. Either way, I'm going to put all this information so you can either see it and pause, or it'll be in the description. But depending on how you forge your ring, you get certain boosts. Now, these are not hugely significant, so I wouldn't worry too much about it, like, oh, I need to restat, I did a bad one. But if there is something that you're doing more than anything else in the game, and you think, hey, I'll take the extra 1%, that might be something. So as you can see here, the ring bonuses that I have are how I forged my ring, which was, I think, a sapphire that's iron, it's intricate, and it is inscribed. So I get these bonuses from that. Pretty simple there. Next, we have Abundant Power. This is a ring ability, so as I'm getting power and upgrading abilities, this is the one on the bottom right. I believe the first one on the bottom right, and this just gives Legolas physical damage caused plus 1%. So pretty simple there as well. Just trying to see, okay, where do these things come from, and how do they get used in battle when you're putting points in and stuff like that. Next, the next three we have, it says Legolas activates the commander bonuses for might, focus, and speed. So again, if you go to your commander, I'll hop over here really quick. I don't want to go back and forth too much, but if we go to our commander, we have our might, focus, and speed. And so these are the bonuses that each army gets based on how you have, what level your commander is, what equipment you have on them, and how you've gone into the different abilities for them. So right now, that's how I have Legolas. So when we go back to the battle report, we can see all of those things give their bonuses off before the battle starts, which again, you're not going to be doing, crunching the numbers before you battle, but you can look at your commander and say, okay, if I'm going up against someone who's really resistant against physical damage, for example, maybe finding a commander that has high focus damage, like the dead men that you fight when you're taking over a Dun Harrow. And so knowing which of your commanders do more types of damage can be helpful. But those three, the commander ones, are where those come from. Next, we have Warrior, and this is Legolas's special ability. I believe he's unlocked when they reach level 20, so I'll put that on the screen right now. And all it says is Warrior Commander's effects. You get plus 25 might for your commander and plus 2 skill points for your commander. And then physical damage is plus 10%. So that's for Legolas specifically, but that is Warrior right here. And again, you can see the physical damage caused by Legolas is plus 25%. And again, the might that he got, that plus 2 might, 25 might, would have gone up to the might up here and changed the values of that a little bit. So a lot of these things are really, really tied together. Next, we have all of our enemy commander. I'm not going to go over those. It's the same thing, but just we're going to stick to our stuff here. Then the next thing in order is the cavalry archer gains mounted. Because they are a mounted unit, this is the ability they have, and they receive damage. They receive 10% less damage. They also have Giant Slayer as another ability, which means they do plus 50% damage to large units. So those abilities on our units trigger. And then we have Legolas's Elf Strength, Thrill of the Hunt, and Ranged Vigor taking place. And this took me a second to realize, but these are just the items that you have on your character, which I'm going to talk about a little bit more in a moment. But if we go to Legolas here, we can see the spear I have on him is Elves Strength, Thrill of the Hunt, and Ranged Vigor. I also have this Harp of Lothlorien that has Sustain, and you'll see that being used as well. So these things affect the battle. You know, some of them before the battle, these values just go out, and some of them, like Sustain, are every 2 rounds. You're going to see Legolas use Sustain, and this is what happened. So those are where that Elf Strength, Thrill of the Hunt, and Ranged Vigor come from there. So moving down from there, from Legolas's equipment, we go to pre-battle phase begins. So firstly, Legolas activates dual blows, and Legolas, it says Legolas will grant dual blows before attacking. So the dual blows skill just says this commander has a 10% chance to attack twice each round. And then, so that's just saying this is going to happen every time he attacks. Then Legolas activates Grey Elf, which is right here. Grey Elf gives all allies a 2% chance of avoiding damage. Again, I don't have, for the purposes of this, I just put everything really low. But if you have these leveled up, they're probably going to be more effective or actually be used more. But he activates Grey Elf, which gives them a 2% chance of avoiding. And then he activates Deadeye, which gives the cavalry archers a 3% damage boost. And then he activates Shield Training, which gives them a reduction in damage by 2%. So those are all the skills that Legolas has that happen in the pre-battle phase. That this is just for the whole time. They don't have to. Some of them do have effects that are chance-based. So Grey Elf is active, meaning they all have that 2% chance to avoid damage. So it's active right now. Doesn't mean every time we're going to get that, but all of these abilities that have you know, battle long effects are just activated here. So that's all of the pre-stuff. And then next we go into round 1. So first things first, we have Legolas's dual blows. It says dual blows did not affect Legolas. So dual blows, his commander, a 10% chance to attack twice. He did not get that 10% roll. Then it says he activates Mirkwood Ambush. So Legolas's Mirkwood Ambush causes 211 physical damage to the bruiser, making them lose 8 units. And then there is 392 left. Then Legolas uses Sustain, which is that harp that we had. Sustain heals our cavalry archers. We haven't taken any damage right now anyway, so it doesn't really do anything. And then Legolas does his normal attack. From his attack, they suffer this much damage, and they lose that many units, and there are that many of them remaining. And then Legolas launches Elven Prince, which means normal attacks have a 50% chance to cause an additional 40% physical damage. So his Elf Prince launched there, but it did not hit the 50% chance to add that damage, so it does not affect the bruiser. And then the cavalry archer attacks. The bruiser suffers that much more damage, loses that many more troops, and have that much there. So it's kind of important at this point to understand too, based on your character's speed, you, like in this instance, might get to go first, where Legolas went and the cavalry archers went. So we reduced the number of units that we're fighting by a little bit before they even get to go, which is going to give us a little bit of advantage going in here. So then it says bruiser attacks. The Grey Elf did not hit, so the cavalry archers did take that damage. They lost those units. They used armor break, defense diminishes, and then their commander attacks. Grey Elf did not hit again, which again has them a 2% chance of avoiding damage. So that one's not as good unless it's upgraded all the way, because 2% is pretty slim. If you do have the upgraded, obviously, if that does hit, that, you know, you're saving yourself there. If that had hit, you would save yourself 4 units there or 8 units there. So that could be pretty significant as you're going along. So moving on to round 2 now. Legolas's dual blows did not affect Legolas, so he's not going to get that second hit there because that's only a 10% chance. Then he activates Heart Seeker, which some of the abilities have a cooldown timer on them, so it has to be that many rounds after it's been used. So some of these you'll see almost every round. Some of them will be a couple of rounds that go by. So he activates Heart Seeker and deals damage, making them lose 5 units. It activates Vitals, or Attack Vitals, which deals damage twice. There's a 50% chance to deal 28.5% twice. So we hit that 50% chance right here, and you see the damage being done 2 times there. Lose, you know, they this much damage, that much damage. They lost 5 units each time. Then he does his normal attack. If it says he just attacks, that's his normal attack, and they suffer this much damage, lose 30 more units, and then he launches Elven Prince, which has a 50% chance of adding 40% physical damage. Missed that again. Then we have our cavalry archers going. They suffer 293 damage and lose 12 more bruisers. Then we have the bruisers attack and the commander attack over there. Again, similar stuff happening in the previous, I'm not going to go through every single round, but just want to make sure we're catching every effect that is happening. So as we continue on through here, we can see that, you know, things either do or don't activate depending on their percentages there. Some may be a lot less likely to do that. Here you can see sustain healed our archers, our cavalry archers. That's from the harp we had there. And we keep going down. Cavalry archer attacks, losing 9 units. Let's see. Cavalry archer was granted avoidance by Legolas's green elf ability, so they hit that 2% there, which is pretty surprising, and they avoid all attacks. So the bruiser did their normal attack, and we actually avoid all of that, which is very good in this instance. Then they attack again. We did not get the elf's avoidance again, the gray elf's avoidance again, so we do have some losses there. And again, we just continue all the way down with all these things either hitting or not hitting the whole time. And then finally, all the way at the end, you can see that their commander attack, the gray elf's avoidance did not affect cavalry archer. They suffered 137 physical damage. They lost 3 units. That's all we had left. And the cavalry archer can no longer fight. So the battle ends. So again, that's how the battling system works in the Lord of the Rings, The Rise to War. It is sort of a lot of information, but if you take time and go through it and you kind of have all that stuff, or at least you know what those things do, you can really kind of quickly see, okay, this is how all this works. This thing affects this thing. Again, it gets pretty analytical, and if you are playing casually, which if you are playing casually, you're probably not still watching this video because we're just kind of going through the super, like, kind of behind the scenes battle stuff that you don't see unless you go click on this. But it's good to understand how that works. And again, if we had continued this and it went 10 rounds and we both had troops left, then that's when a draw situation starts, and then you have 5 minutes to reinforce and bring in other commanders, or just pull out your commander and maybe just decide that was too difficult, I couldn't take that. But after the 5 minutes, the draw would resume and it would go right back to the top as if you're attacking again, just continuing where the armies left off down here. But in this instance, we went 7 rounds, ran out of units, and that was it. So again, this is just a kind of quick overview of how that works. I feel like for me, as I'm trying to understand how commanders' kits work, it was important to know how all these things work in battle. I was working on a video for Legolas, specifically looking at his abilities, and I kept thinking, okay, how does that work? Where does this affect, and when does this happen, and all that stuff. So you find all of that right here. Again, if you are curious yourself and want to look at that, you can go to your little mailbox here, and then go to your battles, and it's this one right here where you have the details from your battle. So, but that's going to do it for today's video, our analytical deep dive on the battle mechanic in Lord of the Rings, The Rise to War. If you want to see more Rise to War videos, maybe some that are not as analytical as this one especially, be sure to hit that subscribe button to join our fellowship here on YouTube. And I stream over on Twitch, so if you want to come hang out with us over there, that'll be linked down in the description below. So have a good one, and I hope to see you in a future video.